the ladies of The View are facing some heat after Kelly Osbourne made some questionable statements about Latinos. Now, they were having a discussion about Donald Trump and his previous statements about undocumented immigrants, specifically Mexican immigrants. And of course, everyone on the panel seemed very outraged about what Donald Trump had to say. Kelly Osbourne was one of them, and in this next clip, you could judge it as her misspeaking or possibly giving you a glimpse of who she really is and what she really thinks about Mexican immigrants. Let's take a look at the clip and we'll discuss.
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilets, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that,
no.
You know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying
there's more jobs to be
in LA, they always,
but
they don't.
Latinos are not only the only people
I didn't mean it like that. Come on. No, I would never mean it like that.
Okay.
I'm not part of this argument with...
I think what you're saying is that Trump himself
He needs to look out
probably relies on a lot of these people that he's insulting.
Okay. So when you're speaking off the cuff, sometimes you say things that are misconstrued, you don't mean it that way. I've definitely been a victim of saying things that didn't come out the way that they were supposed to. So I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but that was a pretty harsh statement.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a complete benefit of the doubt. I mean, I hear you, but I mean, we know what she means, and we know that as she was starting to say, she tried to backtrack and get out of it, that a lot of Latino women in California clean homes. And that's true. So, and then she was taking the most disgusting job that someone does when they're a housekeeper and using it as an example to go after Donald Trump. So I give her a pass. She was not saying that's the only job available to Latinos.
Okay, so that happened. And then what was interesting is in that clip, you see Rosie Perez just kind of have like a negative reaction to it. And then after that aired, she took it upon herself to go on Twitter and apologize to Kelly Osbourne for having an... Really? You think so? Okay.
I mean...
I'm okay with people giving her the benefit of the doubt because I do believe that you misspeak very easily when you're speaking off the cuff on live television. There's no question about it. I've been there, so I want to have some sympathy. I don't know what Kelly Osbourne's true feelings are toward Mexicans, so I don't know. But Rosie Perez didn't really need to apologize. Her reaction was a very normal reaction. I would have had the exact same reaction had I been on that panel. And I feel like her apology kind of goes over the top. She says, "My apologies, Kelly Osbourne. I took your point wrong. Trump, Latinos, my bad. Your heart is so pure and righteous. I adore you." Just calm down, calm down.
No, I'll tell you why I liked it. I agree with you. I don't think there was anything wrong with Rosie Perez's response, but this is in a world where we are all ready to be outraged and point our finger at Kelly Osbourne and go, aha, we caught you. And Rosie Perez did not want to engage in that. Rosie Perez can go any direction she wants on this. She could leave it alone. She could say something. She could make it worse. And what she chose to do was say to someone who I suspect is her friend, I got you. I know what you meant, and you didn't mean anything wrong, and you maybe chose your words poorly, but hey, we're speaking off the cuff, and that's going to happen 10 more times this week. We're all good. We know what you meant. That was not so much a Rosie Perez apology as that was I am instantly getting Kelly Osbourne out of trouble. And so I think it was looking out for her friend, and that's why I admire it.
Right. Whoopi Goldberg did the same thing. She said, "I want to just start by making something clear. The point she was actually trying to make was that Donald Trump's stance on immigration will only end up hurting the people that Donald Trump is counting on." I think that response is actually okay, even though Whoopi's had some questionable thoughts on Bill Cosby in the past and all that stuff. I think in this particular case, Whoopi was right, and she handled it correctly.
It's tough when people are your friends, and that's what Whoopi's problem. You know, Whoopi looked bad on the Bill Cosby thing, but Whoopi looked bad on the Bill Cosby thing because she admires Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby is her friend. And that's hard. And, you know, so I give Whoopi a, you know, I mean, Whoopi doesn't care whether I give her a pass, but I'd give her a pass because I get it. It's really hard when it's your friend. I mean, you know, we don't get put in those situations where somebody we've known and cared about all our life is all of a sudden becomes public enemy number one, euphemistically, and for hideous things. And you're like, I can't believe these things are true. So you're blinded a little bit to the facts. And finally, when we talked about in that first story, when we did the Bill Cosby story, Whoopi reads the deposition and she's like, I gotta go. I gotta leave you. You know, and I suspect that happened with a lot of people. I'm curious when it's gonna happen with Bill Cosby's wife, with Camille.
But you know, guys, I think you can defend your friend all you want, or clarify for her, or get her out of the doghouse, whatever problem you have that's happening. There was a cringe-worthy part of at least the Rosie Perez tweet. I mean, it's then you're like, it was like along the lines of you're this regal, awesome human being, though. But I mean, I'm sorry that I encountered you with my stupidity. You're this higher, superior being. It's like, you're so pure and righteous. I adore you. Like, it seems very worshipy, to where that's already the problem now, is she came off looking like she's talking down on a certain group of people, and then a person from that group has to respond, responded with, "You're so righteous and pure."
But look what we're doing.
And it's putting this hierarchy in place that a lot of people, not necessarily Kelly Osbourne feels, but a lot of people feel that already exists. And you don't need to do that.
So
just stand up for your friend and stop.
Yeah, I agree with you. And let me give you guys a little more context so you understand why I had a very similar reaction to the tweet that JR had. Before she tweeted this, she also released a statement where she was basically saying, "I'm so sorry for being so sensitive." But it's okay for you to have that kind of reaction to someone who says that Mexicans clean toilets, right? It's okay. It's totally fine. Just say, look, you know what? I misunderstood her. She misspoke. It is what it is. We're friends. Let's move on.
Yeah, I got you. But now we're like, but I mean, if we really think that Rosie Perez gets to have whatever response she has, then she gets to have the second response too. I mean, we're like again, we're look what we've done. We're like into the minutia of what they meant in the tweets. Like, we know what their intent was. We do know that Kelly Osbourne, partly based on the response, partly that we've never heard anything like hideous from her before, that she didn't mean anything evil. There was an initial gut reaction from people, somewhat understandably, and then everybody just thought about that, hey man, we don't want to have a thing. And so, like, I'm prepared to go, okay, then let's not have a thing. Like, I got it. I got it. It wasn't, Kelly Osbourne's words weren't perfect. The tweet wasn't perfect, but I like all their intent.
Look, what I'm trying to say is I want to dictate what kind of apology Rosie Perez puts out there. Okay, I want to make that decision for her. You understand? Okay, I'm just kidding. Of course I don't want to do that.
I'm sorry. We just have a history of doing that, and we just stop. That's all. She can do what she wants to. Again, I'm not mad at Rosie Perez for doing it. Just we have a history of bowing down and exalting a different group. Stop. Just chill out. It's okay. She's your friend. Just defend her and move on. You don't have to go to those levels to it's a hierarchy level. Stop. She's not better than you. Don't make it seem like that.
She does have a British accent.